Good morning. Welcome to OJS with IAS Academy. Today, we are discussing MCQs based on daily current affairs. These are the 10 topics which we are going to cover today. Try and solve at least 7 out of 10. Let's turn to question number 1, which is in reference to National Handlooms Day. And the correct option here is B. It is an initiative of Ministry of Textiles. National Handloom Day is celebrated on 7th August and it is a tribute to the Swadeshi movement which was launched on the same date in 1905 after the partition of Bengal. The objective is to generate awareness about the handloom industry among the public and its contribution to socio-economic development. It is an effort to preserve the indigenous crafts of the country, support artisans, to instill pride in the workmanship and strengthen efforts towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat. I hope this is clear to you what exactly National Handloom Day is and why we celebrate it. Question number 2. It is regarding severe fever with thrombocytopenia syndrome, which is SFTS. And the correct option here is C, which is it is transmitted to humans through tick bites and it was first identified in China in 2009. So, there are reports of deaths and infection due to SFTS in East China's Jiangsu and Anhui provinces. This belongs to the Bunya virus family and it is transmitted to humans through tick bites, primary vector of the virus. The virus was first identified in China in 2009, as said earlier also, and its early warning signs include severe fever, low platelet count, and low white blood cell count, which can escalate to multi-organ failure and central nervous system disease. Question number 3. It is in reference to National Flag of India, and the correct option here is A. Pingali Venkaya is the designer of the National Flag of India. Let's learn more about it. So, Pingali Venkaya was born in 1876 and died in 1963. He was an Indian freedom fighter born at Bhatla Penumaru near Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh. He was the designer of our national flag of India. His design for the flag was approved by Mahatma Gandhi in a Congress meeting at Vijayawada in 1921. Venkaya's version of flag was subsequently modified in 1947. Why we are talking about this is because his 144th birth anniversary was celebrated on 2nd of August. Question number 4. Which of the following river demarcates the boundary between India and Nepal? And the correct answer here is C. Kali. So, Kali River of Kumaon Himalayas mark the international border between India and Nepal. This river in the Kalapani region originates in springs below the Lipu Lake Pass, Uttarakhand. Kumaon Himalayas is a west-central section of the Himalayas in northern India. The ranges lie within the state of Uttarakhand, northwest of Nepal, and Nanda Devi is the highest peak of Kumaon Himalayas. This is the disputed area, and this is Kalapani, and here is the Kali River. It is marked with blue color. Let's turn to question number 5. Milne Ice Shelf, which was recently in news as well. It is located in which of the following countries of the world? And the correct option here is B. Canada. So why it was recently in news is अभी आज ये recently हमारा न्यूज़ में इसलिए था because कनाडा में ये फुली इंटैक्ट आइस शेल्फ कोलैप्स कर गया था इसी साल जुलाई में ड्यू टू ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एंड इट लॉस्ट मोर देन 40% ऑफ इट्स एरिया इन जस्ट 2 days. सिर्फ 2 दिनों में इसने अपने 40% एरिया को लॉस्ट कर दिया, खो दिया. मिल आइस शेल्फ इज़ अ फ्रेगमेंट ऑफ द फॉर्मर एलिसमेर आइस शेल्फ. ये सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट आइस शेल्फ है आर्कटिक ओशन में एंड इट इज सिचुएटेड ऑन द नॉर्थ वेस्ट कोस्ट ऑफ एलिसमेर आइलैंड विच इज़ वर्ल्ड्स 10th largest island. Question number 6 is regarding the construction of Ram Temple in Ayodhya, and the correct statement here is B, which is this grand temple will follow the Nagara style of temple architecture. It will have Kudu Mandapa, Nritya Mandapa, Rang Mandapa, and the chief architect of the temple is Chandrakant Sompura. So, why statement 2 is incorrect? Because Shikara is the mountain like spire which can have different shapes from pyramidal to curvilinear in the Nagara style. The temple is generally constructed on a upraised platform called Jagati. Unlike the temples in South India, Nagara style doesn't usually have elaborate boundary walls or gateways. Generally, there is no water tank in the temple and the Pradakshina path is covered. So, this is what we are talking about. This is a layout. Temple area is 10 acre. Temple complex is 57 acre. This is the Rang Mandap. This is the Nritya Mandap, Kudu Mandap, Garbhagriha and Shikara. It will be as long as 161 feet. Now let's turn to question number 7, which is regarding groundnut production, and the incorrect option here is B, groundnut cultivation cost higher than cotton. So it is incorrect because for farmers groundnut can be harvested in 90 to 110 days by October to November, whereas a full cotton crop cycle can take up to 180 days over 3 to 4 pickings. The shorter duration gives the flexibility to plant wheat, chana, zira, which is chickpea, cumin. So, today more than half of the country's groundnut kernels are used for table consumption or exported, leaving little for oil extraction. That makes it more of a dry fruit than an oilseed. That situation could, however, change this year with farmers substantially expanding the area sown under groundnut. One reason, of course, is prices expected to remain firm, supported by rising home consumption of the oil post-COVID and steady export demand for the kernels. There are also the comparative return, vice versa, other crops. So, this was all about groundnut, why it is not as said in the question, that why it is not higher than cotton and why that statement was incorrect. It is explained all very effectively. आप इसको 1 से 2 बार पढ़ेंगे आपको अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगा कि क्यों ग्राउंडनट कॉटन से ज़्यादा महंगा नहीं है. ग्राउंडनट हमारा लगता है हार्वेस्ट करने में 90 से 110 दिन, जहाँ पे हमारा कॉटन को लगता है 180 दिन. इसलिए फार्मर्स बहुत सारे रीजंस की वजह से, क्योंकि ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी देता है, शॉर्टर ड्यूरेशन है तो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, फार्मर्स के पास और ऑप्शन है, वो वीट, चना, ज़ीरा ये सब भी उसमें उगा सकते हैं. सो दैट इज़ द रीज़न वाई ग्राउंडनट इज़ मोर efficient in that way and why farmers are switching towards it. Now let's turn to question number 8, which is in reference to environment and ecology. So consider the following statements regarding nuclear fallout, and the correct option here is C, which is fallout is the radioactive particles that fall to earth as a result of a nuclear explosion. Test exploded nuclear weapons above ground also contribute to worldwide fallout. So, both the given statements are correct, and nuclear fallout is a destructive, long-term consequence, large-scale releases of radioactivity in the environment. This radioactivity is the transfer of energy through waves or particles and is common in the world. Light, for instance, can have radioactive source and is not harmful by itself. However, human created scenarios in which the nuclei of atoms are ripped apart releases large amounts of radioactive particles and energy. These events, like nuclear bombs and nuclear reactor meltdowns, pour radioactive substances into the air and water. Question number 9. It is regarding Global Money Laundering Report, which is released by one of the following organization, and the correct answer here is C, FATF, which is Financial Action Task Force. So, money laundering is the processing of the criminal proceeds to disguise their illegal origin. Money laundering is the processing of the criminal proceeds to disguise their illegal origin. This is very important, so that is the reason I have read it twice. This process is of critical importance as it enables the criminal to enjoy these profits without jeopardizing their source. FATF is the global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog. The Paris based FATF releases an international report on money laundering and terrorist financing. So, here are many important points which you should know. 1. FATF is of Paris. Its full form is Financial Action Task Force, and they releases an important report which is on international report of money laundering and terrorist financing. Now let's turn to our last question, which is question number 10. It is regarding Beirut. It is located near which of the following water body? And the correct answer here is D, which is none of the above. It is not located in Red Sea, Persian Gulf or Dead Sea. So the correct answer here is yes, it is located near westward into the Mediterranean Sea. Why we are talking about Beirut again and again? Because of the blast that happened few days back in Beirut. Beirut, which is the capital and largest city of Lebanon. It sits on a peninsula extending westward into the Mediterranean Sea. This is the Mediterranean Sea, this is Lebanon, and this is Beirut, its capital. Alright, that's it for today. If you have any query, do contact us.